Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. I'm going to keep my notes here and maybe read a little bit of this, maybe talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about strength, smart strength and dumb strength. What I call smart strength is the application of the amount of force needed to ensure an intended result without injury. So like lifting a box with your legs rather than your lower back is a common example. For some people it's natural and instinctive. It comes pretty easily. They naturally don't like wasting energy. They consciously or unconsciously notice when they're doing it. They notice what's not working and they just drop that off and focus on what is working. We call these people natural athletes or people with natural talent. A friend of mine had a little kid who had this. I taught him to throw a frisbee when he was like 2. And for him, the frisbee was like a garbage can lid. It was that big to him. And he figured out how to throw it almost before he could talk. Anything that didn't work, I could see him just deleting those files and focusing in on what did work. Many of us, myself included, are not like this. We might have some innate talent, but it's a long way from easy. Especially in this world that's getting ever more focused on the virtual. So many of us having smart strength is actually extra smart because it requires intentionally using intelligence to make up for what we lack in natural talent, to find and improve the way we use physical force, the way we walk, the way we stand, the way we move, the way we fight, the way we breathe. We have to pay attention to these things. It doesn't come naturally. Without a lot of talent, and maybe even with talent as time goes by, to pay attention to what's going on inside as well as outside of your body with the intent of not wasting energy or injuring yourself in a constantly changing physical world requires intelligence, or at least a very responsive awareness. What I call dumb strength is just ignoring all that and just sort of plowing in. It's sort of like playing darts blindfolded. Sometimes you hit the center, but mostly you don't. It's in this case, as a metaphor, hitting the center would be, not using too much or too little force, getting it just right. Sometimes dumb strength just does that. Sometimes dumb strength is the best thing you can do. Sometimes it makes sense to just dive through a plate glass window, your house is on fire. You're not thinking it out, you're not being smart. Sometimes it's the only strength that's available. So, hey, use it. I'm not knocking dumb strength at all, literally or metaphorically. It's worth cultivating some of that. My main concern, though, is developing smart strength, and I'm really hooked on it. I'm a long way from graceful all day long, but I'm a longer way from where I started. Dumb strength is usually just brute force without much information. It's like just blowing up a safe with dynamite. Smart strength is always on the lookout for relevant information and better results. It's like finding out the combination or picking the lock on the safe. Sorry, my battery wore out. So what strength I have is smart strength. I've literally used my smartness to become stronger. I'm a smart guy, got a high IQ, but I've used my intelligence to compensate for not being particularly physically talented, and I've developed some real strength. But none of it came really easy to me. I had to work at it a lot. An easy way to look at talent for me is to just notice, like, if something comes easy to me, I have talent at it. If it doesn't come easy to me, I don't. Talent is the ease with which I learn something, basically. And the easier it is, the more talented I am. Of the main things I'm focused on in my life, which would be my marriage, writing and singing songs, teaching and practicing Tai Chi, building physical strength, the only thing that came fairly easy to me was teaching. That I felt I had some talent at. But all the rest, learning to play the guitar, to hear harmonies, to feel rhythms, to sing and to understand pitch and perform, and do all the various forms involved in Tai Chi and training to unravel my defenses and be more honest and receptive in my marriage, to put my truth down on paper and find music that matches it in a satisfying way, to build muscular strength and not and not lose my flexibility, mobility, or responsiveness. All these things I've had to work on a lot. And a lot of that work was getting my body to do things that didn't really come easily to it. For some reason, I'm very attracted to things I'm not very good at. And that's just the things that I want to get good at are the things I'm not good at. And for some reason, I'm very attracted to things like that. And I'm very patient, I'm very persistent, and I'm smart. So here's how I'm smart. I'm going to describe a little sequence here. At my best, I use my talents mostly like this. I try something, a bit cautiously at first, but I try something. I notice what happens, I compare it to what I want to happen, or what I've been taught. I come to some conclusion about what worked and didn't work about my first attempt. I decide on a correction of some kind, and I try that. Then I notice what happens, and I keep making corrections, and keep noticing, and keep correcting, and gradually I develop strength in that area. So a talented person does this right away, and proceeds pretty fast. For a not-so-talented person like me, some of these steps can take a long, long time. But if you're intent on getting stronger and you don't have talent, the only way to get there is to be smart about it, to apply your intelligence systematically to get better. I did that with teaching too. Talent plus work maximizes everything, but work and no talent can do the job too. Talent and no work might be okay if you're insanely talented, but usually skills tend to crumble without at least some kind of regular work, right? So I just say fuck talent. Don't worry about talent. There's plenty of talented people who get really good at something really quick and then they quit. They don't appreciate what they're doing. They don't even understand what they're doing. It just comes really easy to them. The people I know who are really good at what they do are mostly not that talented. They have some, but they worked really hard at it. Now when you put talent and hard work together, oh man, that's the best. Then you really get something amazing. But if you don't have talent, and you want to get stronger somewhere at anything, physically stronger or just stronger at doing something, you can do it. Fuck talent. You can find teachers, you can find information on the net, you can apply your intelligence to the task, you can experiment, you can make corrections and experiment again and make more corrections, and you will get stronger, hopefully with minimal injury to yourself. I've really enjoyed the process of getting stronger physically, but I've also enjoyed the process of getting stronger as a songwriter, stronger as a singer, stronger as a husband, stronger as a Tai Chi practitioner and teacher. I don't, when it comes to the physical training, I don't have any specific strength goals. I just enjoy the process of getting stronger. So I have to say I'm not doing, CrossFit or working at a gym or anything like that. I'm doing my own version using body weight exercises and a few weights and fitness tools and stuff. And my upward curve with strength has been very slow because I've been very careful. I'm prone to joint injury. I just do not have strong joints, and it's easy for me to get tendinitis as well. So if I overdo anything, I tend to get that strain, so I've got to go slowly and carefully. Having someone just rah-rah me to do as many reps as I can do if something is not the way that works for me. So I've had to be slow and I'm careful. I'm also working on not losing flexibility, mobility, responsiveness, and softness while I'm getting stronger. I'm not just developing strength. So as I get stronger, I want to keep my flexibility and my mobility with me. So it's not the only thing I'm building. So I have to work on integrating that in the entirety of all my other Tai Chi practices and Tai Chi Chuan practices. And because I have not been talented, I've had to be smart and I've had to be careful. And because of that, the things that I have, I think, are more thoroughly appreciated and thoroughly enjoyed and thoroughly a part of my life than if they were talented and those capacities just came standard with me and I didn't have to work that hard at it. Because I've had to work hard, I feel more responsive to change. I've had to be more careful. I've had to be more curious about my capacities and my relationship with them. I'm sort of changing as my body is changing. As I change my body, it changes me, so I've had to listen to that. So I think intelligence is underrated in the physical arts. I think we look at the great talented people and we just go, wow, I could never do that. But you could at least move in that direction. You could have no talent at something like, say, basketball, and watch a guy like Steph Curry or LeBron James or Kevin Durant play basketball and just think, well, I could never do that. And yeah, you can't. You're not going to go, probably anyway, become an NBA grade level player, but if you're intelligent about it, you're smart, and you don't just push with emotion and passion, but get yourself some teachers and build your fundamentals step by step by step, you could probably get good enough to be someone who, you know, gets picked early in the pickup game at the recreational league at the Y. I mean, you could certainly get better than you are now if you're just smart about it and don't push yourself too hard. Dumb strength, you know, dumb strength is I can do this. You know, you just kind of pile in and you just push yourself to do it without much care, without much examination of what it takes to do it. Don't recommend using dumb strength over the long haul. In the short term, now and then, in an emergency, it's good to be able to think without acting. I mean, act without thinking. But the rest of the time, it's good to have a measure of intelligence in your actions and think about what you're doing and learn. Use your mind to help you do these things more properly, so that you can avoid injury and get better at the things you want to get better on. I apologize for my halting delivery here. I had a lot of thoughts down on paper, and I just wanted to kind of half read, half talk. And we'll get back to some more fluent and coherent videos in the near future. Thanks. If you like watching this thing, subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit GeneBurnett.com for more info about me and all the stuff I do.